Hello and welcome to Never Seen It, a podcast where we watch movies we haven't seen yet. I'm one of your hosts, Betsy, and with me is my co-host, Trent.
You could also call them films.
Films, movies.
Films.
Well, it's
moving pictures.
Most of the time it's not called film because it's not on film anymore. It's digital.
They also call compilations of music records.
You can buy a record.
You can. But what percentage of the market are there?
That's not the point. Anyhow, today we're going to be watching a new movie that neither of us has seen yet.
No.
We are watching Tick, Tick, Boom!
Boom?
Tick, Tick, Boom.
Tick, tick, boom. Why are we watching Tick, tick, boom, Betsy?
Well, we're watching it, Trent, because we are trying to make some best guesstimates for what we think might get nominated for the Best Picture Award at the Academy Awards coming up in a few months.
Because we do that.
And this one got nominated for a Golden Globe. Andrew Garfield won a Golden Globe.
Yeah.
So enough reason for us to watch this movie.
It's also on Netflix, so
It's easy to watch.
It's
yes.
free.
So that's why we're watching it. Trent, what do you know about Tick, Tick, Boom?
So this is another Lin-Manuel Miranda movie, is it not?
Yes, this is his directorial debut.
So he didn't direct In the Heights.
No.
He just wrote it.
He wrote the musical, the stage musical that they adapted.
But he did not direct. Okay.
He did not direct it.
All right, I did not know that.
I think he probably produced it, but no. This is his directorial debut.
So this is more music, I would assume.
Yes.
It is starring Andrew Garfield.
Yes.
And he's a singer of some kind. I have not seen any trailers for this movie whatsoever. I've probably seen some clips where is he a music teacher? I don't actually know.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you because I actually do know what this movie is about.
Okay.
If that's all right with you.
Sure.
So, in this movie, he is playing Jonathan Larson. Have you heard that name before?
No.
Jonathan Larson wrote Rent.
Okay.
But Jonathan Larson died before the premiere of that musical.
You have told me that story.
Yes, it was very sudden, very tragic. He had, I don't remember if it was like a pulmonary embolism, something like that. Mm-hmm. But he died like a day or two before Rent like first premiered.
Yeah.
And he ended up posthumously winning the Pulitzer Prize.
Okay.
So he is well known in the theater community.
Now you've seen Rent.
I have seen Rent.
I have not.
No, I've not actually seen it on stage, weirdly. And there are theater people who would hang me for having seen the movie and not the stage version.
And the movie is that the Rosario Dawson thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They made it maybe 10 years past the ages those people needed to be playing those characters. But that's a whole different movie, and we could watch that in another podcast.
Sure.
But today we're talking about Tick, Tick, Boom. So this movie, Andrew Garfield is playing Jonathan Larson basically a number of years before he wrote Rent.
Okay.
He wrote another show called, can you guess what it's called, Trent?
No, I couldn't possibly.
Okay, I'm going to shock you. It's called Tick, Tick, Boom. But yeah, so I don't know the real specifics, but this is very much pre-fame. This is him writing that, but also with dreams of doing more.
Okay.
I know that there is at least one sequence that I heard about where a lot of really big deal Broadway people show up.
Okay.
I think it's like a dream thing. I don't know if this is a full-blown musical or it's just a movie with a lot of music in it.
Seems like that. And I would, just based on that description, it's a good fit for Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Absolutely.
Because, he hit it big with Hamilton, and he got his first recognition with In the Heights, did he not?
Right.
Yeah, that was his first thing.
Yeah, so he made his first big splash with In the Heights and then went on to blow everybody out of the water with Hamilton.
So, and that makes sense from a trajectory standpoint, where he started off with something successful, but only really recognized in that community. It didn't become a big thing. They didn't make movies about Tick, Tick, Boom.
No, so like people, I think, produced this show after he passed.
Yeah.
So it has been performed before. They have produced Tick, Tick, Boom as a stage musical.
Oh,
But I don't think it happened until well after Rent.
Okay. Well, yeah, sure.
And that's just because everything that happened and the success that came with Rent. You know, you want to...
So would you call this a biopic about this dude?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Yeah, this is absolutely a biopic. As I said, there's definitely music in it. Andrew Garfield sings. He does his own singing in this. Yeah. And I heard a story where he had been auditioning for the role, or he had maybe been cast, and he kept telling Lin-Manuel, I've been told I can't sing. I don't think I can really sing. Yeah. And he sang something for him, and Lin-Manuel, I don't know if he slapped him in the face or something. He kind of accosted him and was like, "You can sing!"
How dare you dart yourself?
He was very excited because he's like, "You've been lied to your entire life. You can definitely sing." Yeah. So that's the piece of this movie that I'm actually the most interested in, is his performance.
Sure.
And I know some people who are big, Andrew Garfield people, big musical theater people who love this movie. And it only just came out a few months ago.
Yeah. And spoilers, if you haven't listened to the Spider-Man episode, he's kind of back in the lexicon.
He's having a moment.
Yeah, he's having a moment with the youths of America, in that it's like, oh man, they really need to make an Amazing Spider-Man 3 now, and blah, blah, blah. So
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I doubt that, but
yeah, no.
He's probably going to get nominated for an Oscar this year, though.
Probably. But we've already kind of said our piece about who we think is going to be it. But you know what? We haven't watched all the movies yet. We're going to save that for another time.
Yep. And we're going to talk more about Oscars when we come back. But right now, we're going to go watch Tick, Tick, Boom. And we're back. So Trent, that was Tick, Tick, Boom. What did you think?
I like that.
I did too.
I didn't really know what to expect other than what you just told me.
Well, and shows what I know. This is literally an adaptation of the musical that I was talking about, because you had to kind of pause and you went, wait, what are we watching?
Wait, what the hell is this? Why is he narrating? Why is this a spoken word thing?
Yes, because I also didn't exactly have the context, because I've never seen Tick, Tick, Boom.
Yeah, and we didn't really have any context for what that show was.
No. So yes, this was more musical than I thought it was going to be, because it actually literally is a musical.
Yeah, it's based on the musical that he made about his life.
Yes. So my assumption is it is moderately changed to add some more details, but otherwise this is Tick, Tick, Boom, plus a little autobiographical stuff.
Yeah, more things about his life, because, you're probably not going to have a show about the fact that that you died.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
But yes, once I understood that, because you were a little confused at the beginning, and once I
was
said
super confused, but I think after I got that and I put the extra things to it, then I got it.
Yes, because obviously you are certainly not a student of musical theater.
I am not versed in this world.
I was sitting here just now going, oh man, now I have to talk about this movie, and I really wish I had one of my musical theater friends with me, because they could speak in such great detail, more so than I can. Like, I am a fan of musical theater, but not a musical theater kid.
You are not a student.
I'm not a student.
Yes.
So I knew bits and pieces of what was happening here. Like I told you, I know the story about Jonathan Larson. Yeah. Because once you've heard that shit sticks with you. Yeah. That's a fucking tragedy. Yeah. And yeah, there's like a lot of people that show up in this movie. Mm-hmm. And so I was going like, oh God, I need to look up the credits. I can't get those names fast enough. Yeah. I know. It's that guy from that thing.
Yeah, I know that face. I know that voice.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But yes, I really liked this. I only cried a little bit.
I got there's one moment. One moment it really got me. Yeah? It was when he went to Michael's apartment and they hugged.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine was right before that, when he's singing in the park.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yep, here it comes. I was on the edge a few times in the movie. Yeah. A few times, but that was the one that pushed me over.
Yeah. But you know what? Hey, Andrew Garfield, impressive.
This was an awesome performance.
Yeah.
He can sing. He
Yeah,
can.
he absolutely can. And in the beginning, the first half of the movie, I didn't really get him.
Okay.
In that, it's like, okay, yeah, you can sing. Good job. But, like, you're not really acting here. There's not really anything here. But once the emotion started to come out, it sold me.
Right. And the first half is more of the, like, here's the workshop. Here's
Yeah.
Tick, Tick, Boom on stage.
Yeah.
And so it's more him as narrator than him as character.
Yeah.
And then once you get more into the movie and there's more actual scenes with him, yes, he gets to do a little more.
Yeah.
But yes, I thought this was a really lovely performance from him.
Totally. And him really getting out the emotions in the performances, in the singing, him at that amphitheater
Yes.
was the best part. I
Absolutely.
think. It's just him at the piano. I'm sure he doesn't play because they
I'm
don't
sure,
actually show him playing.
I would be willing to bet Andrew Garfield plays a little bit.
But he wasn't actually playing.
He strikes me as the
thing.
type that learned for this movie.
Fine. He knew where to put his hands. Fine.
Yes. He knew enough where to put his hands, but those aren't his hands.
Fair enough. But my point here is he sold it in that moment that, he's not trying to put on a perfect performance because this is a person actually expressing his feelings and his emotions through song in a way that I will never be able to do. And he's emotional while doing it. He's cracking while he's singing, and I believed it.
He's making mistakes as one would in that situation.
Yeah. And the circumstances of it being what they are, you would be a wreck if your best friend from elementary school tells you they're HIV positive and it's 1990. Mm-hmm. That's a fucking death sentence.
Yeah.
For most people back in the day. And that would just devastate you. What else can you do?
He literally has the line about halfway in the movie. I've been to 3 friends' funerals this year, and the oldest one was 27.
27.
So they do a good job of really establishing where we are and when we are throughout the movie with that information.
Yeah.
And you can really see, again, I think it would help you if you had seen Rent.
And I know enough about
But you know enough about it.
I know enough about what Rent is about that I could see where the thread of his life went after this.
The inspiration that he drew it from.
And what his agent told him at the very end of that phone conversation was, write what you know. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what he did. First, he wrote this musical about his own life. And then he went off and wrote Rent, which is about basically living in New York under the specter of the AIDS epidemic.
Yeah.
And that's hugely important in his life and all the people around him.
Well, and nobody wrote a musical about that before.
No.
Or anything remotely close to it.
No, because you want musicals about love and marriage and going on an adventure or whatever the fuck else musicals are written about.
Oklahoma!
No one wants a musical about Oklahoma, Betsy.
I watched that a couple days ago because I don't know. I woke up and I wanted to watch Oklahoma. I still enjoy it.
Of course you did.
I hadn't watched Oklahoma in probably 15 years, and I knew like every fucking word still.
Of course. It's you, Betsy.
So coming back to this movie. This one is directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yep.
I think he did a really good job. I also think this movie was done with a tremendous amount of love.
I think so too.
This was such a passion project for him.
Yeah, and I think, and I said it in the beginning, it seems like his life has gone the way that that Jonathan's would have.
Potentially.
If he had lived.
Yeah.
Because he had a smash hit musical, and I'm sure he would have had many, many more after that.
Oh, sure.
And I'm sure Lin-Manuel Miranda will be doing the same thing as long as he wants to continue doing it.
So one thing I found interesting, and I picked up on this, and I doubt you did, but I certainly did. There's a point about halfway through the movie, he's having a workshop for Superbia, his first rock musical.
That he's been working on for 8 years.
For 8 years. And he is working at a diner.
Yep.
And he finds out, of course, he knows one of his coworkers who works at the restaurant has HIV.
He has AIDS.
And he is in the hospital.
Yeah.
And, it's a Sunday and they're going to go to work. He's giving a speech about how he doesn't have time. And he's like, I need to leave here. I need to do this. I need to do that. I don't have time. Where is this? What's happening? In that moment, I thought about Hamilton.
Okay.
And at the end of Hamilton, the very last song that he does isn't singing. He's just speaking.
Yeah.
When he's just like, Eliza, Eliza, what's going on? And this, to me, it was an incredibly close tie-in because I know that Lin-Manuel Miranda was heavily influenced by Jonathan Larson. And I noticed that influence here.
Okay.
In that particular little moment. Like, I don't think they write in a very similar fashion, but there's little,
maybe just the
a
beats.
little beat, a little nod, a little moment. And that moment in particular, the way he stylistically wrote that piece of that song, Jonathan Larson did, made me think of the way Lin-Manuel Miranda writes.
Okay.
I just thought that was interesting. I also, at other points in the movie, noticed little moments where I was thinking of the way Stephen Sondheim writes. So I was also getting the way Jonathan Larson was pulling that influence from Stephen Sondheim, who is a very important figure to him.
Yes.
To the point, the man is in this movie.
Yeah.
The real man is in this movie. Did you know that?
I did not. Where was he?
So he shows up in the kind of beginning of the movie. So we get a scene where Jonathan Larson is working at a writer's workshop, and they would bring in different songwriters, different people to listen to their work.
And critique it. Yes.
And Sondheim shows up, and it's Bradley Whitford.
Yep.
Who, by the way, that was really good Sondheim. He's got the look and the movements down.
Yeah.
So that was really good. At the end of the movie, he receives a phone call from Stephen Sondheim.
Okay.
That's the real Stephen Sondheim.
I was going to say, that didn't sound like Bradley Whitford.
No, it's not Bradley Whitford because it's Stephen Sondheim.
Well, and the thing that I was thinking at the time was that, is that like what he really said to him? And you might have just asked Stephen Sondheim at the time, do you remember what you actually called and said to him? Because you obviously did.
Right, and I don't know if that bit's true, because of course the opening line of this is everything you're about to see is true except the parts that Jonathan made up.
Okay, fine.
But he did meet Stephen Sondheim.
Of course.
That's true.
Yeah.
And Sondheim's style was to be a mentor to young writers. He did that for many, many people.
And again, this is just what's depicted in the movie, and if it actually happened, whatever. But
who cares?
It does, and the very, very little that I have seen about Sondheim, basically I learned from after he died, from people just putting out all this stuff.
The stories.
Just the stories and the clips and the interviews. The thing that I took away from that was that he was that mentor for so many young playwrights and just writers in general that want to make musicals that are influenced by him and inspired by him. And he just shows up one day and says, "Hi, you know me. Let's work."
Pretty much. I know one person, someone I used to work with, when she was in like high school or college or something. She was in Washington, D.C., and they were doing a run of Sweeney Todd at the Kennedy Center.
Okay.
And her dad showed up late. And they were kind of just told to stand in the back, and they couldn't go in until intermission, basically. Yeah. They couldn't go to their seats because it would disrupt the whole thing. They were waiting for it to start up again. Intermission happens, and this guy gets up. He had been like writing in a notebook, and he gets up and he sees them standing there and says, "Oh, well, I'm leaving now if you want my seats." And it was fucking Stephen Sondheim. He was taking notes because your work is never finished. He always has little tweaks, little things, little bits that he wants to just tweak a little.
You're your own worst critic.
And yeah, he was just watching the show, taking notes, and then he sees these two people. And he's just like, "You can have my seat," and walks away. Like, that, he was just a guy.
Yeah, imagine like being this legend in the minds of like thousands and thousands of people.
Right.
But then knowing in the back of your mind that I'm just a dude.
Right.
You know, I would love to get to a point in my life where I could just do that. I don't need any money. I just want to help this art form. And I want to try to advance it as much as I can in this life. Mm-hmm. And again, like I said, he doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the fame. He's already as famous as he's ever going to be in this community. And to my knowledge, he never got out of that community, did he?
No, he was working on a new musical.
Meaning like he didn't
90 some years old.
Meaning like he didn't go over, like he did go over and make movies or make other kinds of media.
No, because back in the days that he got started, they adapted your shows into movies.
Sure.
But he wasn't the one doing it. It's not like today,
It's
like
always...
Lin-Manuel Miranda doing In the Heights and having some involvement with it and being in it.
But it's always, hey, this is based on the Stephen Sondheim musical.
Yes.
And whatever we do to it is our thing.
Right. So West Side Story, while they were filming that, I'm sure he was on set. I'm sure he showed up and had things to say. But there was another scene in this, and again, you haven't seen this musical, but they reference a lot Sunday in the Park with George, which is one of Stephen Sondheim's biggest musicals that people know. Again, he won a Pulitzer for that too. It was done off Broadway as something. This is going to turn into just me talking about Stephen Sondheim. Sorry, I love.
I'm prepared, Betsy.
But he was doing something completely different because he was sick of doing mainstream Broadway, and he wrote this kind of abstract, crazy musical, and it ended up winning a Pulitzer Prize. So that's what they're watching on TV in this movie, talking about. Oh my God. Stephen Sondheim, like, come on.
With Mandy Patinkin.
With Mandy Patinkin. And the diner scene where they're there on Sunday and they sing the big song Sunday, that is from that musical and adapted. So the root of that song is called Sunday, and it's from Sunday in the Park with George.
So Jonathan was the one who wrote that, but it was based on that thing.
So he took the Stephen Sondheim song and then turned it into his own thing.
I got you.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, of course, that scene is chock-a-block full of
the cameos.
Huge names in Broadway. Literally, I was writing them down as fast as I could, and I was like, no, slow down. I can't get these all. Because obviously you are not as well versed in Broadway, so I'm sure half of them you recognize and the other half you're like, I don't know who that is.
I mean, I probably recognize two people.
So the guy at the door who was like, I need a party of four, whatever, like that dude. That's Andre DeShields. He just won a Tony a few years ago for being in Hadestown. And he's one of those like old Broadway guys who's done 1,000,001 things and never got a Tony, and that was his first Tony. He also showed up in the John Mulaney Sack Lunch Bunch. That's the thing you would have seen him in.
Okay.
Yep. Renee Ellis Goldsberry and Philippa Sue, of course, from Hamilton were there. That's the scene Lin-Manuel Miranda's in. Joel Grey was there, who was the MC from Cabaret way back in the day. Again, won an Academy Award for that in the movie. Bebe Neuwirth was there, so you would know her from Frasier.
You're looking at me and pointing at me like I'm going to know all these names.
But you know who Bebe Neuwirth is.
I don't.
Lilith. She played Lilith on Frasier. She was Frasier's wife.
Fine. This has also been 20 years since Frasier.
Whatever.
I didn't recognize her
Whatever.
at all.
She really, again, when they revived Chicago, she was the star of Chicago, and it's been running ever since. One of the bums on the street was Adam Pascal. Who was in Rent. He was in the original cast of Rent.
Okay.
The woman next to him was the woman from In the Heights. So she was also dressed as a bum, so you might have missed it. Mm-hmm. The lovely Bernadette Peters. Of course, you can't do Sunday in the Park with George without Bernadette Peters. Mm-hmm. Felicia Rashad, Cheetah Rivera. The other thing we didn't talk about was there's tons more in that scene too. I didn't even catch them all. I frankly don't even see all their names in there, but these are the ones I knew.
Betsy's having her geek moment here.
There were so many people in this movie. If you like musical theater,
absolutely,
you're gonna have like a little freak out.
And I do not begrudge anybody who loves this stuff. It's just, it's completely over my head.
Which is why I'm saying it for the listener, because
exactly.
you're looking at me like I'm nuts.
Exactly, and that's okay. That's okay. I don't begrudge anybody who loves this stuff. I have my own geekdom that I would pull out on occasion, but you go for it, Betsy.
So there's that scene, but then also earlier in the movie, when he's doing his writer's workshop and Stephen Sondheim is there is a little crowd of other potential songwriters, aspiring songwriters. That room is full of other Broadway writers. And I had seen one of them just for a second, and I was like, is that Jason Robert Brown? And I looked it up, and it was Jason Robert Brown. Some of the other people in there are Stephen Schwartz, who wrote Wicked. And then everyone else in that room, like aspiring composer and lyricist, they're all ranked number 16, 17, 18. And I am sure these are all people who at some level are composers and Broadway people.
Sure.
I just don't know all of them. But that's just kind of how this movie is designed. They're all sort of these people who Lin-Manuel Miranda knows and loves and has known and has loved for a while.
Right. There's some mutual respect here.
Absolutely.
Like, if you're going to make this movie about Jonathan and everybody knows this guy and knows what happened to him and knows what his legacy has become after his death, you're going to show up and pay tribute in whatever way that you can.
Yeah.
So that's how I take all that.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
But yeah, it's another one of those love letter to Jonathan kind of a thing.
Yeah, totally.
So we all want in. We want to make this scene. Lynn gets on the phone and says, you want in? You want to do it?
Right.
Come on, let's go.
Right.
It'll be like a couple
hours.
I'm
doing this thing, this thing that Jonathan did back in the day. Of course they all know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very much a love letter to him and to musical theater in general. Mm-hmm. Because that's what all musicals turn into at some point. It's all inspired by other stuff.
Because it's done with such love. This is the word I'm going to keep using. It's done with love. Because when you love a piece of music, it inspires you. When you love a show, it inspires you.
Yeah.
It goes back and back and back. So I was just saying, Lin-Manuel Miranda was inspired by what Jonathan Larson did. Jonathan Larson was inspired by Stephen Sondheim. Stephen Sondheim, his mentor was Oscar Hammerstein.
Yeah.
It just keeps going back and back and back.
Yeah. And it's the same thing in filmmakers. It's the same thing in music.
Yep.
All artists are inspired and all artists steal. It's just...
There's literal theft happening in this, but
absolutely.
It's done, but because he said, I love you.
With love and admiration. It's a tribute. It's not stealing. It's a tribute.
You gotta believe me.
Yes. But yes, we're past the love-in for musical theater here.
I will never be past my love for musical theater.
Just for the time being, anyway. So, some context here. It's 1990.
Yep.
Dude is 29 years old, about to turn 30. Which, by the way, Andrew Garfield is 38.
He looks younger than 38.
At times, he shows his age, Betsy.
Okay, there are a few moments I'll agree with you.
When he's doing his monologues at the piano, I can see it in his face because the lights are very bright on his face. And yeah.
It doesn't do him favors to look 30.
And that's okay. But dude, you're not 29 anymore, and that's okay.
You know what? He was busy playing Spider-Man at 29, so shut up.
It's true.
Doesn't mean he wasn't delightful in this.
He was, and I think he was youthful enough during the entire movie to make me forget about that.
He has a spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very much the young at heart type of a thing, which is why he could pull off, Spider-Man.
Right.
Because, Spider-Man's supposed to be a teenager. We're not going to have that conversation again. Go back and listen to those episodes. Anyway, just some things I wanted to point out here. I like the little detail about him writing songs to challenge himself about mundane things.
Yep.
Because that's the kind of shit that we do together. We don't
yes.
actually write songs.
No, but we
just kind of riff.
We insert lyrics into existing melodies.
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
I was doing it earlier. What was I singing earlier?
Oh, God, I don't remember. Because it's just a fleeting thing. It's just a fleeting thing.
I remember now. Berries and cream. Instead of singing berries and cream, I was singing hookers and booze.
No, it's
hookers and blow.
Hookers and blow. Hookers and blow.
I'm a little boy who loves hookers and blow. I didn't say we were good songwriters.
No, I didn't say they were also clean either.
No, sorry, friends.
Anyway.
It's something to pass the time.
Yeah. It's just whatever comes to your mind and makes you laugh, and then you move on.
Yeah.
So, I really like that detail because we do that on occasion, and
people do that.
And he was good at it. Mm-hmm. And his friend Michael is a let's just call him failed because he gave up.
A failed actor.
He's a failed actor, which
New York City is full of them.
Dime a dozen in New York City especially. But he gets a job in advertising and marketing, and he makes good money.
5 figures.
High 5 figures.
High 5 figures.
Which in 1990, that's pretty good.
Absolutely.
He's got this nice apartment. There's a whole song about him having this apartment and with the parquet wood floors.
From living in a hellhole to this, kissing the walls.
Yeah. And hugging the pillars.
Yep.
And he's trying to convince him, hey, you're not really going anywhere. You're broke. You're always broke. I could get you a job. You're good at this. I could help you out.
You could write jingles.
And you'd be great at it.
Yeah.
And he probably would have been. But again, he's got the bug. He's got that itch. He's got to be able to do this stuff. And just as long as we're in the same vein here, the thing that he says in that last song, where he's singing about his friendship with Michael, where he finally decides, you know what, I know I could probably go off and make some money and have a life and do whatever else, but you know what, when we were back doing the talent show and all the things that they did when they were younger, they were like, hey, we're having a good time doing this. Mm-hmm. People actually make their living doing this. This is a good time. I'm going to continue on doing it.
That's the dream, Trent.
That is the dream. If you could do something as a living, they always say, if you could get paid for doing something that you love, you're on easy street. Mm-hmm. If you work doing something that you love, you never work in a day in your life, or whatever the phrase is.
Yep.
So that was inspiring to me because I don't really have any good talent when it comes to artistic stuff. I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't paint, I can't draw. I got no artistic bone in my body. The only thing I was ever moderately good at...
You don't play an instrument.
No, not a lick. Not a lick. But the only artistic bone I could ever have is writing. And I did that for a little while for myself. I didn't really show it to a lot of people. Not a lot of people saw it. But I could have continued on. I could have submitted more things. I could have flexed that muscle more. I haven't done it in probably 10 plus years, ever since you and I were together. So yep. I blame you.
Sorry about that.
I blame you.
Sorry, folks. I'm stifling his genius.
You're depriving the people of my genius, Betsy. No, I mean, I used to write about whatever was on my mind, and I would pick a topic and I would write about it, and it was in my own style. So I related to that because, I enjoyed doing it. It was a challenge. It was difficult at times, but
sometimes you draw a blank.
And exactly, I could pick a topic and then have nothing to write about. Mm-hmm. What the hell? Why did I even pick that topic? Then I have a hard time finding another topic. So I forced myself to write about the topic that I chose. But
what idiot picked this topic?
Right. But yeah, that's just kind of a long-winded way of saying I really like the song. So.
You also really liked the Bohemia song he did in his apartment at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
You went, I like that one.
That was great. The freestyle kind of song where he's just talking about all the different roommates that have come through there.
The visitors and the passersby.
Right. All the neighbors showing up. Mm-hmm. And that's a very close-knit community. and friend group that I've never really had.
Right, and then there's the schmuck there who just wants to go to a bohemian artist party.
Right, because the drugs are good there. He's just a big bro.
Just like, go now, goodbye.
Say, hey, I'm going to be the future of musical theater. I'm going to go get another drink. Goodbye.
He's not wrong, though.
Yeah.
He's not wrong. And of course, there's a scene in the middle where the guy helping him put on the workshop says, there's a song missing. You need a song. You're telling me that nobody's ever told you you're missing a song?
Well,
and
there was one
He's
person.
like, no one's ever told me that. And he says, honestly, there was one, and it was Steven's song, which is a great reveal.
Yeah.
But of course, he has writer's block, and he spends half this movie trying to write this song.
Yeah, that's kind of the entire movie.
And that's, like you said, he's using it as an exercise, but he can't write this particular one.
Yeah.
And the thing that clears his mind is he's swimming and he just sort of lets it all go and sees it appear at the bottom of the pool.
Right.
But that's how those things happen. You try and you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
You have to just let go and go do something else.
Right.
And it usually just comes flooding into your brain.
Absolutely. There was one time, just talking about when I was writing, there was a time I was at the grocery store and something just, like a scene appeared before me of just something that I witnessed in my purview. And I had to rush home to write about it because it just was, I had to say it. I had to put it down and put it into words because I could not believe what it was that I just witnessed. And to this day, I don't remember what it was.
Because you wrote it down and forgot about it.
I wrote it down and I forgot about it, but I needed to put it down. And I could probably go and find it somewhere, but, that's a long time ago.
Well, that's how writers are sometimes. Like Bob Dylan was infamous for just sitting down to a typewriter.
Yeah.
And he'd just type something out, and he'd throw the paper away somewhere, and he'd forget what it was. He just had to get it out of his head.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite Bob Dylan stories is, I think it was maybe Joni Mitchell or one of those women. I don't remember exactly, but they recorded a Bob Dylan song. Because he wasn't gonna, and they said, can I record it? And he said, yeah, sure, I don't care.
Yeah.
And he recorded it, and then some months later, or they recorded it, and some months later, he said, oh, that's a great song, I love that song. And they're like, hey, stupid, you wrote that song. I did? Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Similar experience. And, they show Jonathan the whole movie. He's riding around New York on a bike. He's walking around. He just has this little notebook while he's watching TV, writing down thoughts.
Yeah, questions.
Questions.
They're all questions.
Yeah, I hadn't actually picked up on that until they actually pointed out at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But he writes down a question, and then they show him laying it all out, and this is kind of the thread that leads him to creating Rent.
Yeah.
Is he just writes down all these thoughts, and that's where his process leads him.
Yeah, and he may have been working on this musical that is depicted here for 8 years or whatever it was, but at the same time he's still got all these other ideas floating through his head. And just talented people in general, they're always like that. They always have just things juggling in their mind.
Oh yeah. They
They may not be coherent, they may not have anything to do with what you're working on actively right now, but you just stow it away for later. It's going to come back to you.
Or it's just a passing thought that you write down in a book somewhere.
Yeah.
When you're looking for inspiration later,
right.
You've got that book where you wrote electric toilet and make everybody twins.
What is that from?
It's from Baby Mama.
Okay.
She has a book where she writes down her thoughts. Like people recommend if you wake up in the middle of the night, you should have a notebook next to your bed and you write down your thoughts.
Or your dreams or whatever.
Or your dreams. And it's like a dream journal, or it helps you sleep if you can't sleep, or it'll help you get back to sleep because you just write it down and you go to sleep.
Yeah, you get it out of your mind. And the reason why I used to write at night is for that exact reason.
Yes. I should probably start doing that because there's been a lot of nights late I've been laying awake in bed.
Well, that and your dreams are fucked up.
It's true.
Let's just be honest here.
It's genetic. I'm sorry. I've heard so many stories about my grandma being like slapped in the face because my grandpa was having a crazy dream. My mom woke up in a headlock once because my dad was having a crazy dream. It's genetic. I apologize if I ever kick you in the back or something.
No, you don't kick me. You just say the most random and You say words that are completely incoherent.
But you never can remember what they are because you're half asleep.
No, because it's 2 a.m. and I'm falling asleep still. Anyway, what were you saying?
I lost the thread. I don't know.
All right.
I was talking about electric toilets.
Anyway, but yes, talented people, write your stuff down.
Yes. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Be creative. We like creative people.
We do. We have a lot of friends who are. I also, talking about another song here, the song where it's cutting back and forth, it's the fight song.
Oh, him and her singing together?
Yes.
That one has been going around the internet. I keep scrolling past it. Mm-hmm. The two of them, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah.
Yeah. That was super good because it's dealing with a very difficult thing in a humorous way.
Yes.
Because they're having a fight, and it's a serious fight. She has every reason in the world to be upset.
Yeah.
And he is not really responding correctly to anything.
I have been given an opportunity to take a job upstate, and I've been wanting to talk to you for days about it because I would like your opinion and advice, and I would like you to come with me.
Right.
And you are all about you right now, and I understand that you have your show opening, but you also need to talk to me.
Yeah, you're not going to write that in 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes.
Yeah, and he doesn't. He blows her off.
Yeah.
And she is justly upset about that. Mm-hmm. And so then she's just like, are you fucking writing a song about this? Like she feels his fingers.
Are you tapping it out in your... Yeah.
While they're hugging.
Right.
Yeah, it's messed up. Like sometimes you got to just like stop. Mm-hmm. Turn it off for a second.
Yeah. And of course, you cut back to him in the quote unquote future where he's talking about his life, and he knows that he's being a dick.
Yes.
And he's saying as much in the song, but him and Vanessa Hudgens just having the back and forth and like them manipulating each other and like going back and forth and having a huge smile on their face.
Wide eyes, big grin, happy song.
I enjoyed that one too.
Yes, that's another fun thing about musical theater is when it's subversive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the songs in this are great. They're great, beginning to end. Because, of course, I had to go back and look at this. He wrote this musical immediately after Superbia.
Yeah.
What didn't happen. After he finished it and he moved on.
Yeah.
And he did this one in like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
This one he cranked out very quickly.
Yeah.
And there's not much there. You know, it's not a fully produced stage musical. It's like three people. Yeah. And it's semi-autobiographical. Mm-hmm. And then in 1996 is when Rent came out. So once he started, you know, he took his, in this movie, it's his agent's advice.
Yeah.
Just keep cranking them out and see what sticks.
And write what you know.
Yeah.
Because, and this other thing, Superbia, isn't anything that he knows.
No.
It's complete fiction. It may be good, it may be entertaining, but it's complete fiction.
I would be interested in finding that.
Right.
I'm sure it exists. Someone has done it since then.
Sure.
Because the little bits we get of it are good.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's interesting.
And the little bit that we actually hear of it and it's like or see some of the text, it's kind of relevant to today because it's talking about like people looking at a screen in their hand.
And people airing their lives to the world.
Airing their lives to the world and having an award show about like nominated for best face.
You have the best face and hair.
Yeah. So how is that any different than an award show about the best YouTube videos or TikTok videos?
Yeah.
And that's, prescient to today.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's also, his agent is right. It's, at the time, 1990, it's too weird to be big. It's too big to be small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you do with it?
Yeah, no one wants to take a chance on something so weird.
Right.
You talk about how quickly he was able to crank out these other two. Once your process gets completed, it took 8 years from the time that he started and the time that he finished. He did every step. He knows what it takes to get all that way. Once you've done something once, you can probably do that again, maybe in a shorter amount of time because you know what all the steps are.
Yeah, you can quicken the process because you know all the mistakes you made along the way.
That's true. Yeah.
Yep.
So
in 5 years. It was actually 8.
Right.
But yeah, I liked this movie. I think I'll definitely revisit this at some point. So let's talk Oscars. So that's the whole reason we watched this.
Yeah.
So I definitely believe he will get nominated for Best Actor for this movie.
I would say it's a pretty good bet. Yeah. I think he turned in a really good performance, even though I was a little iffy about the first half of it.
Yeah, once you found the groove.
Yeah, by the end, I was completely sold with him and his character and the relationships that he had with the other people.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that anybody else in this movie had a big enough part to be considered a supporting actor in any capacity.
Bradley Whitford.
His performance was good. I don't think it's that good.
Hey, people have been nominated for less.
I don't know if they've been nominated for less. He had like 4 lines and then just sort of stood on the stage line. But okay.
Give him an Oscar for the beard.
Right. Given the expanded category, I think this is probably going to squeak in a nomination for Best Picture.
Yeah, because the Academy has been trying to reach out a little bit more beyond their like dramas every year.
Yeah.
I mean, the year that they expanded it, we got fucking Black Panther and Mad Max Fury Road.
Well, that wasn't the year they expanded it, but since they expanded it, we were able to get those. And any other time, we never would have.
Right.
Yes, I think we've seen much more interesting movies and diverse group of movies from all kinds of places in the world and all kinds of filmmakers. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's better for it.
Parasite won 2 years ago.
That's right.
Think about that.
That's right. This will not win Best Picture, this movie.
No.
Tick, tick, boom.
No.
This is going to be an also-ran. I don't think there's any original songs in this.
No. I don't think that Lin-Manuel Miranda would have done that.
No. They kind of...
It ain't his.
He held on to that for, like, In the Heights. I think there's probably an original, extra original in that one.
Yeah.
That's kind of where that energy went, I think. But other than that, I mean, I don't know, because the screenplay, maybe adapted screenplay, this might get a writing thing.
It might get adapted.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the other, like, technical awards and things like that. There's not really much of a score because the music all existed. Mm-hmm. There's not a whole lot of a script because the script mostly existed, but adapted potentially.
Yeah.
You know, the costumes, they're all period appropriate, but there's, again, it's
nothing
just
unique.
1990 clothing.
Nothing is very unique here.
Nope, hairstyling isn't like wild and crazy.
The only extra technical things are the editing, because there's some good edits in there.
And achieving the volume of Andrew Garfield's hair.
That's all CG. Process. That's all CG, Betsy.
Maybe editing.
The only extra thing, like sound-wise, that was added in was the ticking.
Yep.
But, you know, that was actually done pretty well. And that, I mean, we didn't really talk about it, but the ticking there is symbolizing a few different things. The main thing is time.
Yes.
Time is never in your favor. You're always going to lose that battle. No matter who you are, you're going to lose the battle with time. Mm-hmm. At the same time, you are under pressure, like the ticking, because time is running away, and you need to get this thing done on a deadline. What the hell are you doing? Why are you going to the pool? Why are you watching C-SPAN?
What are you doing with your life?
Yeah. So...
And it's metaphorically very sad because he didn't have much of it.
Yes.
And they bring that up at the end of the movie. They say he made Tick, Tick, Boom, and then he immediately went back into working on Rent, which was something he had started and then gave up on.
Right.
So he went back to it, and he never got to see it. He never got to see the success because he died the day it opened.
Yep.
And they say that in here. He was 35 years old. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they show his birthday, you know, his 30th birthday, February 4th. He would have been 62 this year.
Yep.
62.
And how much more would he have done in the time?
Yeah. Maybe he would have had 1 more. Maybe he would have had 6 more.
Who knows?
Maybe he would have had 20 more.
Yeah.
When you're a prolific guy and you get in your groove, you sometimes crank them out like crazy. Mm-hmm. You know? And sometimes you're Lin-Manuel Miranda, where you just take your sweet time
Sure.
and torment us with the wait.
And who knows what's going to happen with him, because he's been making movies.
Yeah.
You know, he's been not only making movies, but being in movies too.
And sometimes you're George R.R. Martin, who just can go and...
Oh, God.
If he writes a musical before he finishes the fucking Game of Thrones series, I will find him in Arizona.
In the interim,
he's
in the interim, he has consulted on a video game.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
And that video game is coming out in February. Before his actual end of his book series. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
It'll get finished eventually.
But yeah, I think this is a good one. I think it is worth watching. I think we should give it the nods it deserves. I recommend this one.
Yeah, and it's on Netflix. What do you got to lose?
So I think that's about what we have to say about this movie. We got any emails this week, Trent?
Yeah, Betsy. As a matter of fact, we do. And it is about a movie that stars Andrew Garfield.
Hold on, Trent.
What?
What movie did we watch with Andrew Garfield in it?
That was Amazing Spider-Man: The Dose.
Number 2.
Since
we're on the topic.
Yes, this is from Rick. And this has been a long time coming here. This is also a long email. So we're waiting for maybe a shorter episode to throw this in. So buckle up, guys. From Rick. Okay, there's a lot to get into here. First off, the Sinister Six is just the name of a collection of Spider-Man villains that come together to finally take him down. They've had tons of members over the years, but some of the more consistent ones are Doc Ock, Vulture, Rhino, and Sandman. A movie was announced with Drew Goddard of Cabin in the Woods fame attached, but that ended up going away when Amazing Spider-Man 2 failed critically and grossed less than its predecessor. Yeah, you kind of have to make more money in the sequel if you're going to make a third one.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, maybe people don't want it. The end credits for Amazing Spider-Man 2 hint at who the villains in the movie were going to be, with CGI representations of Doc Ock, Vulture, Rhino, Mysterio, Kraven the Hunter, and Scorpion. This clearly did not happen. But you know what? After the most recent Spider-Man movie, everybody's clamoring for Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Where were you 10 years ago, you cowards?
Yeah. So, continuing. Felicity Jones is playing Felicia Hardy in this movie, a character also known as the Black Cat, who is basically Catwoman but for Spider-Man. Most of her scenes were cut from the film, but she still is billed in the credits right before the ands and withs, which is to say, in the credits where it says with so-and-so and so-and-so.
Top enough billing.
Those are like the side characters, but they're a big enough name to be read in the credits.
Right, exactly.
In the opening credits, anyway.
You like, with Meryl Streep. If Meryl Streep is in your movie for 12 seconds,
you put her in
the beginning
credit. Yeah. All right. In your episode on the first Amazing Spider-Man, you talked about how you liked Gwen as a character and how she seemed much more capable than Mary Jane, and Spider-Gwen in the Spider-Verse made you feel like she must be more competent in the comics. She is not. All right?
Okay.
She was a very forgettable and uninteresting character in the comics, who was really only remembered today because Green Goblin killed her.
Spoilers.
What? When people saw that they were going to do a Green Goblin villain in this movie, it was clear that what her fate was going to be. Her graduation speech, being her own eulogy, really drove home the point for viewers in the know. Yeah. B.J. Novak plays a character named Alistair Smythe. He is a Spidey villain who creates robots designed to kill Spidey, just another seed planted instead of focusing on the script. Yeah, he didn't need to be there.
They kept cramming people in that movie with no explanation.
Trying to create whatever the next Spider-Man universe is, or would be, if they were allowed to make any more. Which they weren't.
They were not.
Yeah. Sony still has the film rights to Spider-Man and all associated characters, which is why they were able to do Venom and the upcoming Morbius. Marvel was allowed to co-produce the Home trilogy, by which I mean they pay for everything and Sony just gets to keep the money for no risk. Sony gets all the box office revenue from the films, but Disney gets merchandising rights, which is why Spider-Man has like 3 costumes in every one of these movies. Hello, action figures.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
If I was a little boy, I would probably want a whole bunch of just Avengers and MCU-related stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah. When Sony was hacked after the interview, remember that? James Franco nearly started an incident with North Korea over that movie. I do.
I still never watched it.
We've still never watched it.
That was like the first movie, though, remember when it was a big deal, and then they just put it on Netflix.
Yes.
That was like the first time that it happened.
Because no theater would put it out.
No, but Netflix said, oh, fuck it, let's do it.
Sure. Get it on the cheap.
And that started all of this now. Like,
Yep.
new releases going on Netflix right away.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, talking about the hacked stuff from Sony. A lot of stuff about Spider-Man plans were released. Some of their ideas to make a Spider-Man-less Spider-Man movies included Silk, Sinister Six, Black Cat, and my favorite, Young Aunt May, where she is a secret agent.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I would have wanted to see Sally Field as a secret agent. Or maybe I do.
But it wouldn't be Sally Field. It'd be young Sally Field.
Who do you cast as young Sally Field?
Unless you do like they did in The Irishman, where she's 80 years old.
Oh, I don't think she would want that.
CG
No.
to look young.
But I ask again, who would you cast as a young Sally Field?
Ooh, who would I cast as a young Sally Field? I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I don't think I have an answer for that. You might need an unknown.
I'm just gonna play the break music.
You need an unknown, I bet.
You're probably right.
Nobody immediately comes to mind. The ones that come to mind don't make sense because, you know, number one, how young are we talking? Number two, you got to think of their energy. And Sally Field is like a sassy little woman. And, you know, you could put an Emma Stone, but she's in that universe already.
I don't know. That is a tough one.
Yeah?
All right.
I'll get back to you.
All right. Listeners, write in.
Who is the young Sally Field?
Who is the young Sally Field? All right. Continuing on. Just to reiterate, the mechanical and this is where we got something wrong. Probably me.
Oh, no, I did.
Just to reiterate, the mechanical wings were for Vulture, not Falcon.
I know.
Vulture is a Spidey villain played by Michael Keaton in Homecoming. Falcon is Captain America's sidekick played by Anthony Mackie.
Okay, nerd alert, I misspoke because by that point I stopped
They're
caring.
both big birds.
Big Bird was not in this movie.
Or any of the movies. He should be, though. Recast Avengers with Sesame Street characters.
There you go.
That's the next email. This movie notoriously has a ton of cut footage that was shot like Felicity Jones stuff I mentioned earlier. My favorite, though, during the "Oh no, my girlfriend is dead" montage, Peter was actually going to meet his father, still alive, having just faked his death for 15 years. I guess he really wanted to win the game of hide-and-seek he was playing with his son at the start of Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Why?
I don't know. You need to be dead because you can't have an inspirational thing with your main character if they're not dead.
Well, and if he shows up, what's the point of that? And why hasn't he been there? And why has he just shown up now? Why now?
Yep.
Stay the fucking hiding by now.
It's like the end of Metal Gear Solid 3. Oops, that's a geek reference. Anyway, yeah, I have lots of opinions on this movie. From Rick. P.S. You asked for some DC movies you can watch with no context. Here are some that you can and why you should. Wonder Woman. It is a prequel, a great standalone story. You can watch 1984 as well, but it's a very different level of quality. Aquaman. The greatest B-movie ever made. Julie Andrews voiced a giant underwater kaiju.
Why?
Because they could get her?
They asked and she said yes.
Right.
Hello, everyone. I'm an Aquaman.
I'm shaking my head. Shazam, lighthearted and fun. Birds of Prey. All you need to know is that Harley Quinn dated the Joker. Lots of fun, badass women, and great performance from Ewan McGregor. And that's it from Rick. Thanks, Rick.
Thank you for the long email and for the
Yes.
recommendations, because yes, I have...
We keep getting told to watch Wonder Woman, Betsy. We're going to have to watch
It's
it.
true, and I am glad to hear I don't need the context, because that's my whole thing is the last thing I want is to start one of these movies and not have a fucking clue what's going on because I didn't watch all the rest of them.
I didn't know anything about Iron Man before I went to watch Iron Man. And you know what? It's a great goddamn movie.
Yeah.
Even in 2008.
Right, but then Marvel went through all the trouble to do all of these movies before they could do the big movie.
Right.
They did a lot of work along the way. DC has been trying to do that, but they're rushing it. They're going so quickly.
Yeah, they want the big movie every single time.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
No, I just want to nitpick, and I want that one and this one and that one. Mm-hmm. And what I understand, the female-led movies in the DC universe are the best thing to come out of DC. So yeah, that's it for this episode. We'll be back in a few more days with something else, something new, something old. We're not sure yet.
We don't know.
We're winging this shit.
We decided to do this movie today, by the way. So, hey, here it is.
Here we go. So yeah, in the meantime, if you have thoughts about DC, Spider-Man, musicals, Stephen Sondheim, the Sesame Street recasting of whatever movie you just said, contact us.
Or Sally Field.
Or there you go.
Or young Sally
Field. Contact us.
At neverseenitpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter, neverseenit_pod. And if you want to support these here shenanigans, click the link in the podcast description. Go to the website for Anchor. Throw us a buck if you want. And if you can't, that's cool. Share us with your friends. Share the episode with your friends.
Like us. Follow us on the street. Yell at your thoughts at us. Whatever.
Yeah, that's about it. So,
but until next time, this has been Never Seen It. I have been Betsy.
And I am always Trent.
Always?
Always.
Excellent. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.